Hi, today I'm welcoming back a familiar face from Butler County Community College, and this is my friend and colleague Ken Clowes. Ken is a part of the Community Leadership Initiatives at BC3, and welcome back, Ken, to the Butler
Thank you.
Buzz. So let's start off with, because if people are not familiar with Community Leadership Initiatives, what does that mean?
So that is part of the college's strategic plan to be involved in the community, to help improve the lives of those living in the communities that we serve.
Yep.
Yep.
And I know specifically you are responsible for a particular program, and what is that program?
Yeah, so that's the Hope is Dope program, which is an education-based program on the brain science of not only addiction, but healing from addictions using the latest science that we have.
Right. So Ken, if you're interested in learning more about that, you do have some programs happening right now, right? Or something coming up in December?
So we are looking at doing a professional series.
Okay.
I hope to do it in February, but if not, probably shortly after that. And professionals that come through that program can get CEUs. Then we do the community series, usually at least once, but a couple times a year.
Okay.
And then we have been able to fund 10-week programs for people specifically in recovery. And we're always looking for opportunities to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Ken is doing amazing work helping others, so I'm sure his name is familiar. And I also have the honor of working alongside Ken in another program that BC3 is rolling out, and that is the BC3 Personal Empowerment Training Program. What is that particular training program about?
So that is centered around emotional intelligence. And it is, a very exciting time to be rolling this out because, we've been kind of studying and talking about that as a whole for the last however many years, and it is, based in your ability to manage your emotions, become more self-aware,
Yep.
right? And the goal is that it helps you improve your life not only by building self-esteem and self-confidence, but in relationship management.
Right, which is so important.
It is very important, yeah.
Right. So I do know in this particular training program, which emotional intelligence, sometimes people are more familiar with it with the idea of soft skills, but in the empowerment program, there are 40 empowerment concepts that are incorporated into this training. Could you give me an example of one of those concepts?
So probably one of my favorites is active listening.
Okay.
So this is something that I wasn't aware of before, but when we hear that term active listening, we're usually thinking, we know what that means. It's just mindfully paying attention to what other people are saying. But within that, there's actually kind of like a specific technique or protocol to help you really get the most out of that engagement, which is if I'm actively listening to you, whatever you say, to repeat back what you said to you in my own words, to
Right.
make sure that I have the understanding. And what happens when I do that usually is the other person is inclined to not only say yes, but dig a little deeper.
Right.
So you get a little more information about what they're thinking and feeling than they otherwise might have told you if you didn't repeat back to what they said. And now you have something that you can work from.
Right. So this particular program helps with communication skills. And I will tell you, Ken, as a professor of communication, when individuals ask me, Tricia, what is one skill that you want that I should start working on and to improve my communication skills? The number one skill that I start off with by recommending is active listening. Right?
Interesting, yeah.
So active listening is one. I know there's the theater of life.
Yep.
What is that one about?
The theater of life. So this is recognizing that, in our own lives, we are the star. We are on the stage, right? And we have these people in our lives, whether it's family members, coworkers, whoever, that we place, in our theater. Some people are right up front, always involved in the conversation. Some people are closer to the exit. What we don't often realize is that we have the choice to put them further back if we need to, or
Right.
bring somebody closer if they haven't been for a while. And that doesn't necessarily mean how often you see them. It could be a co-worker relationship where you can't see them less, but you can still move them back in your theater so they affect you less.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, it's about the influence that other people have on our lives, how we feel about ourselves.
Correct.
Well, this particular training program is 24 hours. It's broken down over a period of weeks, and it really is for everybody. Because when we're emotionally strong, we're stronger as individuals, we're stronger parents, we're stronger friends, we're stronger
community.
and more engaged in our communities and in the workplace.
Yes, exactly.
Ken just finished up his first cohort for the fall, and I know that we are excited to start planning for next year.
Yes.
Who do you think is the ideal audience to take this type of training?
Everybody. And I say that purposely because we all probably know somebody in our lives who could use a hand up or a little more emotional intelligence, right? I think of like people in recovery, for example, just one, where, you know, they may have been emotionally stunted for a few years.
Right.
But even people that feel they have a handle on life and they're emotionally intelligent, could use this training because it helps them to be able to empower somebody else because they have the language and the concepts and tools to share that with other people.
So imagine the impact that you could have if you're a business leader, for example, having this knowledge about 40 empowerment concepts that you could bring into your workplace and create a healthy organizational culture.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're going to learn all about how to get a hold of both of us and learn more about planning for 2023 personal empowerment training at Butler County Community College. Ken, thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you, Trish.
And thank you. Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.